And just like that, I'm back in the loft. It's been a long time since I last recorded a video up here. I've just been preferring making videos outside, whether it's been pickup videos, sales videos, etc. Being outside is just so much nicer, but now the weather is closing in a little bit. It's very much autumn now. It just makes more sense to do a video inside. Back in the loft, back in the madness that is my sort of attic of tat and just general stuff. This is my reselling place. This is where I also conduct my full-time job whilst I'm working at home. So I've got to make everything work for me. And I'm not going to spin you around because it is a bit of a mess. I've had a big sort out of clothing, and as the title suggests, I've been selling a lot of clothing as well. But I want to make one thing clear: I am not a clothing reseller. I don't solely focus on clothing. I focus on clothing as well as footwear, toys, small electronics, bric-a-brac, sports equipment. I'm trying to expand my focus, not just clothing. Clothing is a decent thing to resell, but there is so much out there that you can resell. I don't want to be stuck in one niche. But as the title suggests, September has been quite a month for selling clothing. In fact, I sold more clothing items in September than any other month this year. I guess you could say so far, but I don't think I'm going to eclipse that. So this is of course a sales video. I'll run you through a few of my favourite sales, some good ones, as well as focusing on some not so good ones, just to make you aware that not everything I buy is good. As I said in previous videos, every day is very much a school day when it comes to reselling. I've bought things thinking they'll do well. Ultimately, they might not do well at all. So this is a time where I can talk to you about why I bought things initially, but perhaps why I won't be picking them up again in the future. So, without further ado, let me run you through some of September sales, and then I'll talk you through my reselling plan of action just going forward. Now that the car boot season has ended, at least for me anyway, I need to focus more on charity shops and other sourcing opportunities, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So one thing I implemented throughout the month of September was being consistent with listings. I made sure that I listed 3 new items every single day, just to see if it would make a real difference to my sales. And it did on the whole. I found being consistent, listing the same number of new items a day, as well as refreshing old listings, really did help out with sales. Particularly when it came to getting rid of older listings, clothing I've had for absolutely ages. Being consistent with my listing just seemed to bring them to the foreground again and actually get them sold. So whilst I did sell a lot of clothing during September, I sold a lot of other things as well. So let me go through a few of those. So first sale of the month, I sold these Sony AccuCore DVDs. If you saw one of my previous videos, you would have seen I picked these up in a charity shop in Holsworthy, and I pretty much just saved the trip because the rest of it was rubbish. But I paid £2.50 for these. They sold for £27 plus postage. Then sold a pair of Timberland boots. Now I'm more careful picking up Timberland boots these days. Sizes less than a UK 6 I kind of avoid, just because the demand doesn't seem to be as high. But these were a much better size 6.5. These are called the Timberland Rebottle. I think they might have been like a recycled boots, or more sort of like, environmentally conscious. I think I paid £4 for these at a car boot sale. They have also gone for £27 plus postage. Sold some more Timberland boots. These are a bigger size. They're UK size 8. These are called the City Roam Cup Sole Chucker boots. They were missing like a strap around the ankle on both of them. Made it very clear. I paid a £5 of these at a car boot sale. They've gone for £26 plus postage. Bought this one from a car boot sale as well. So this is an Orvis Heritage heavyweight cotton field jacket, men's size large, fantastic condition. One of those items that you pick up and you think, oh, that quality is really good. I have a mixed time with Orvis, but I found like the more quality garments, just stuff that's a little bit different, not like generic shirts, stuff that's actually has a bit more merit to it. They can do really well. Like I said, I paid a £5. That sold for £46.49 plus postage. It's a strange amount. Doesn't even equate to like a 10% off, but I guess I just accepted an offer. Sticking with clothing, sold a pair of Levi's. So these are the Levi's 517s. Now I said before that Levi's 501s and 511s is what I'll typically stick to, but I'm going to add 517s to the list because they're a bootcut jean, and bootcut jeans seem to hold a bit more merit than other styles. So I think I paid a couple of quid for these at a car boot sale. They've gone for £21 plus postage, and they're a good size too, width 36, length 34. This one I've had for a while. It did take a while to sell, but I think I would pick it up again just because of what it is. So this is an Umbro Chelsea football football shirts. Chelsea Football Club training shirt from the 2005-2006 season, so a bit of age to it. I paid a £5 for this in a charity shop. That sold for £30 plus postage, so full price. It has taken about 5 months to sell, which is a long time. But, I mean, football shirts are seldom found in charity shops anyway, so I would definitely pick it up again if the price was right. Fat face cargo trousers. Now, I've had good luck with fat face cargo shorts before. Strangely, I found the cargo trousers don't do quite as well. So I think I paid £6 for these in the charity shop. They've gone for £24 plus postage. Great size, waist 38, length 34. So good profit there, but they again have taken a while to sell, and there wasn't quite as much of a demand for them as there were for the shorts. So I'd probably pick them up again, but I need to be aware that they can linger a little bit. This was a long-termer. So this is a band called Nightwish. I think they're like an operatic rock band, something like that. I bought this hoodie. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have a stab in the dark here. A year and a half ago. It's honestly been that long. So this is a hoodie commemorating, I'm going to say, the Human Nature album. That's what I put in the title. Size large. I think I paid up for this. I think I paid £7 for this. And I initially had it up for like 40 quid. Until I realised that it was actually quite a recent release. So the demand for it wasn't that high. Anyway, time passed. Eventually sold £25 plus postage. So from 7, that's not brilliant, at least not in my eyes. The fact it's taken ages to sell as well probably means that I won't pick it up again. I'm a bit of a sucker for band merch, so never say never. Sold an England football shirt as well. Wow, I do not pick these up as often as I used to because it's just a saturated market and you've got to be really lucky to get a sale. This one actually sold the same day as I listed it, bizarrely. So this is from 2003 to 2005, so a good bit of age to it. Umbro. This one's actually reversible as well, which is pretty cool. I think I paid less than £1 for this at a car boot sale, so it owes me barely anything. Sold for £20 plus postage, which seemed to be about the going rate. There were a couple of others that were priced higher based on eBay comps, but a lot of them were a lot lower than that. It was in great condition, only a size medium, but yeah, sold super quickly, so I think I got lucky there. I've got to be really careful about picking up England shirts because they can just hang around for absolutely ages, but I'm glad that one sold quickly. Right, should we get away from clothing a bit? So this is a Wilson Graphite Select tennis racket. Now I bought this. I don't even know where I bought this from. Again, it's been listed for absolutely ages. I got the pricing completely wrong this one. I think I had it for 30 quid. Comps were actually around 20. And it's eventually sold for £21.50 plus postage. Again, it's been listed for ages and ages, but that's my fault for just getting the price completely off. What did I pay for this? Maybe a £5, something like that. So not a bad return, bit of a pain to pack. But yeah, I quite like selling tennis rackets, but yeah, I got the pricing completely off there. So it could have been a much quicker sale. I just messed up there. This one was interesting. So again, it's a bit of clothing, it's a hoodie, but it's a Supreme collaboration. Now, as we know, Supreme, it's one of these like hype brands where I'm not saying the quality is particularly good, but people just go nuts for it, absolutely nuts. So this is an older one. Apparently it's from 2011. It's a collaboration with Hellbound. I haven't heard of either of these. I haven't heard of Hellbound. I don't know what they were. Maybe something like just skate brand. Anyway, I paid £4 for this in a charity shop. Wasn't sure if it was legitimate, but after doing a bit of research, and I had a couple of comments on a previous video, he said, yeah, it's a legitimate Supreme item. I was like, brilliant. Some Supreme stuff can go crazy money, but this has been well worn. This thing had a lot of love. The material was faded, it was missing the collar drawstring. Again, I think I had it up for like 50 quid. Just no interest. Absolutely nothing at all. Finally sold £31 plus postage. I think I only paid £4 for this as well, so that's still a great return. But again, got the pricing a bit off. Sold a camera. Do like selling cameras? So this is a Polaroid IE090 waterproof camera. Polaroid cameras can be a little bit meh, but this one was so cheap. I think I paid £1 or £2 at a car boot sale. Had to give it a go. Put some batteries in it. Came up a treat. A few scratches, but not the end of the world. That's all for £27 plus postage. Another long-termer. This is a really, really good polo shirt. So this is by a brand called Luca Belloni, Italian. I guess a bit like Brioni and N Peel, so like proper like high-end peak polo shirt. Paid a £5 for this in a charity shop. They didn't know what they had, but to be fair, it just looked like another long sleeve polo shirt on the rail. But I saw it was like made in Italy, took a punt on it, paid a fiver. That's gone for £60 plus postage. So yeah, it's worth looking out for. Really is worth looking out for. For a pair of Uggs. This is the only pair of Uggs I've ever sold, and to be honest, they didn't do as well as I thought they would. I mean, they are a bit niche. I mean, look at this photo. They are, yeah. What's that cartoon with like the stripy moles? Oh, I can't think what it's called. But they're I'll put a picture in here of that. But they reminded me of that. Anyway, I paid £8 for these in a charity shop. They finally sold for £27 plus postage. I think I had them up for 35 initially, and again, they've taken ages to sell. Finally sold. I probably wouldn't pick them up again, just because of how long they took to sell. But I mean, I'm glad they've sold. Bit of profit there, but again, a bit disappointing. Again, sticking with clothing. It's been a clothing month. These are pretty cool. So these are, or this is a pair of vintage Nike joggers / tracksuit bottoms. Bright red, like bright red. So more of a niche item of clothing than say a more traditional grey, black, or like navy. Size medium, so what, width 32. Again, paid a couple of quid at a car boot sale. They've gone for £22 plus postage, and it's the sort of thing that would perhaps sell better on, say, Vinted or maybe even Whatnot. But I'm glad there's still a market for this sort of thing on eBay. So I'm going to persist with eBay with like Nike and the odd Adidas bit, because there is still a demand. But think of all the other people selling similar things. You are competing with just so many people, which is why I tend to stay away from this sort of thing for the most part. But when it stands out, it's a grey tag, they were vintage, you've got to pick it up, right? This sold quickly, actually. This is a brand called Le Col. I believe it's a cycling brand. But this is a cotton blend t-shirt with elastane. Now, don't quote me on this, but I found that cotton elastane t-shirts have a bit of stretch. They're more of like sort of an active wear t-shirt. I find they can carry a bit more like desirability than like say pure cotton t-shirts. Case in point, paid £3.50 I think for this one in a charity shop. That sold for £18 plus postage, which was full price, and it sold pretty quickly as well. So yeah, Le Col, good brand to be looking out for. I guess on a similar vein as Rafa, cycling gear, that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely worth looking out for it. This is a good jacket. So this is the Berghaus Cornice 3 Gore-Tex waterproof jacket. Bought this from a car boot sale. I think I paid a tenner for it, but more than happy to pay that. That sold for £45 plus postage, and I got positive feedback. Hey, happy days. Yeah, super happy with that. I mean, any Berghaus Gore-Tex coat I'm going to be picking up if the price is right and the condition is right, because there's always a demand for these, regardless of the size, regardless if it's a small. Like, these are great coats. They cost a fortune new. So if you can get them at a good price in good condition used, definitely a profit to be made. Non-clothing. This is a Revel Volkswagen Samba bus, like a split screen camper van, model kit, 1/24 scale, brand new in the box, still sealed. I got the pricing on this one wrong as well. I think I had it up for £30, just no interest whatsoever. Brought the price down to 25. Someone offered me 21, and I thought, really? Check the comps, and yeah, that's kind of what they go for. So £21 plus postage, only paid £3, so still a decent profit. Oh, this was a stinker. This is one of the longest running listings I had. I remember buying this from a car boot sale that no longer exists a couple of years back. This is a Cougar men's Saracens Rugby Club short sleeve, there's a clincher, home shirt, size large. It was the 2006-2008 season. But yeah, short sleeve rugby shirts on the whole for me just do not sell that well at all. What did I pay for this? A couple of quid? It's finally sold for £15 plus postage, and I'd hate to know how much I've spent on listing fees with this thing. It's gonna be a few pounds, and given it's sort of 12p a month, I'm not even joking. It's been an absolute disaster, that one. But there we go. It's gone. This one's taken longer to sell as well. There's a theme. There's a theme this month. Clothing, and it's taken an age to sell. So this is a Villebequin men's t-shirt. Now, Villebequin are known for their sort of eccentric pattern swim shorts that can sell really well, by the way. This is a t-shirt by Villebequin, kind of commemorating the swim shorts. It was embroidered. It had just really good like details to it. Paid £4 for this in a charity shop. I actually bought 2 of the same from a charity shop, so there's still one on my shop currently. Again, I got the pricing a bit wrong. Had it for 35 plus postage, no interest, little interest. Brought the price down to £30 plus postage. Someone offered me £30 all in. I thought, oh, that's absolutely fine. I paid £4. It's been for sale for ages. Happy days. So hopefully the second one doesn't take too much longer to sell, but we'll see. Sold some 7 for All Mankind jeans. Got a mixed relationship with this brand of jeans, but these did really well. So £24 plus postage. These are a women's jean, but they were width 36, length 34. So like a really large lady size, really. Yeah, big and tall. Yeah, so I might pay, what did I pay for these? Couple of quid at a car boot sale, so yeah, more than happy with that. Sold a pair of roller skates. Ooh, break from clothing. Paid a tenner for these. These are the United Skates Viper VX4, UK size 6, so unisex, but perhaps more of a lady size. £45 plus postage. Sold some Timberland deck shoes, tail end of summer. I wasn't expecting top dollar. Paid £4 for these at a car boot sale. They've gone for £25 plus postage. Sold Bouncing Tigger. He's been listed for a long time as well. I think I paid £3 for him at a car boot sale. No idea where to price it. I think I priced it for £20 for the longest time. Little interest. Someone offered me 16 plus postage. I thought, yep, that is more than happy with that. Get it gone. This one was a bit better. So this is a Britain's JCB 3CX backhoe loader. Britain's is a fantastic die-cast brand for like tractors and farm machinery, as well as like animals. Paid £1 for this. It was a bit broken. The cab had come off, so I glued it. Made it very clear in the listing this had happened. That sold for £20 plus postage. I'll tell you what, running through these, I've realised that September was a super busy month, and it really helps by, say, listing consistently. So if this is a longer video than normal, then I do apologise. Anyway, moving on. Sold some New Balance running shoes. Only a size 7.5. Trail shoes, so not the most desirable. They still sold well. £28 plus postage, and I paid £4 for these at a car boot sale. Getting into autumn, you know you're going to be selling coats and like thicker tops. So this is a Fourth Element technical Xerotherm sort of like insulated layer. I didn't realise at the time, it's actually made for diving. So again, I paid a couple of quid at a car boot sale, had no idea what it was about, but it just felt like a higher quality and it felt a bit different. That sold for £30 plus postage. Like I said, I only paid a couple of quid. I was really happy with that. Same with this one, Craghoppers Men's Aqua Dry, but this was like an insulated jacket, only size medium, only paid a couple of quid at the car boot sale again, £30 plus postage. Mountain Warehouse Extreme, picked this jacket up a couple of weeks ago at the car boot sale, only paid 3 quid, bit grubby, gave it a good wash, came out well, that sold for £30 plus postage. And you'll be pleased to know there are no more clothing items. So I sold an item of clothing every day in September, bar 5 days, I think. So just an enormous amount of clothing, which is good because I got rid of some really sticky stock. But I also sold some non-clothing, particularly towards the end of the month. Sold another pair of New Balance running shoes. These were UK size 8.5, but same model. They've gone for £30 plus postage, and I paid up for these. I paid £8 for these at a car boot sale. And they have hung around a bit, to be fair. So, it is what it is. And we'll finish with a belt. I do not pick up belts very much, but this was an absolute steal. So this is by a brand called Dunhill, or Dunhill London. Again, higher end men's like clothing manufacturer, but they also do accessories. I saw this on the shelf in a charity shop. A charity shop that does typically tend to know its stuff, but obviously missed out on this one because they were only asking £2. And I've sold that for 35 plus postage, which is just, yeah. And it wasn't even in perfect condition. Had a bit of wear, had a bit of tarnishing to the hardware. But yeah, fantastic. And I'll leave it there because I can see on my little timer that this is going to be a longer video than I usually release. So yeah, September, the month of clothing. Now, as we're coming into autumn, I need to rely on charity shops more. And typically with charity shops, I am picking up clothing. It's just the go-to thing for me in charity shops. There isn't as much variety as there are at car boot sales. Toys and things are typically either priced up or just absolutely knackered. So there's no point sort of investing in those to resell. So clothing really is my bread and butter going forward. So hopefully, if September is anything to go by, then October and beyond will also shift a lot of clothing. but we will see. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I know these sales videos aren't always the most exciting, but it gives you a real insight into what I'm buying, how long it's taken to sell, and how much it's eventually selling for. And hopefully that's the best information you can get, really, as a reseller. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, take care, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.